Hey guys, Big J here from the Centre Bounce. Hopefully you guys are doing well on this what is Tuesday morning. Yes, I have been a little bit slack as recent times, I guess, with the team reviews. Sunday night's been a killer, especially these games and lockouts where, hey, it is now like, oh, it's locked out. It's 11:30/midnight. Oh, you have to go to work. And then Monday comes around and then Tuesday comes around. But I digress. The team is looking, it's doing okay. The rank's looking great though. So let's check out the team. Let's check out my prospective trades. Hopefully give you guys some stuff to watch. It should be a fun one. This week we scored 25-31. And boy, oh boy, it was a fun week. Ended up captaining Max Gawn, which worked out very well. As you guys would have seen from the chaotic live streams and whatnot, Thursday night was interesting. Friday was more fun. The drive home on Friday, a little bit different, but great to see some of you guys there. And yeah, the team's doing all right. So total score 17,633 into the top 1% as always. Team value slowly going up, which is what we want. Rookies are not great, which definitely hurts us a little bit. But the season rank into the 260s, as you guys would have seen, probably from the thumbnail or the title. Not sure which one at the moment. We are doing quite well in that respect. I did post on Twitter during the week that I thought there might be a nice couple of 2,700 scores, and congratulations here to Jensen. Unfortunately, someone else also scored 2761, but they were a lower rank. So apparently, hey, you just don't win anything. Unlucky. He still had a bunch of points left on the field as well, potentially with a bias who could have been another player. But it's just these guys that I just don't have. Marek doing really well. Callahan, who we obviously traded out, doing really well as well. So, yeah, just kind of perfect team for this kind of week. And heck, if he had captain Max Gawn instead of Merritt, I mean, you don't pass up Zach Merritt 172. So, saying that's a little bit crazy. But, yeah, it worked out quite nice for him. Let's check out the team. Actually, what I love to do is if we go and you can kind of see how your season's going as well. So if we go 17,633 is my total score. And then I always like to, hey, let's check out and see where these guys are at. So 17,633. I think I'm about 330 points away from rank 1, which is cool. So we'll see how long that lasts. The rookies are slowly drying up, and that's something I'll talk about this week. But yeah, it's not doing so bad in terms of catching number 1 rank. And heck, the guy that scored, he was 37 ranks before. So he was ranked 38 last week, and now he's ranked 1. So it's pretty good. I think if we score, let's say, 100 points compared to the competition a little bit over the next couple of weeks, we can easily creep up into the top 100, and then it's go time really from there. We're very much just holding out for the bye rounds, I think, and that's probably one of the big things we'll talk about today, and just building the team and whatnot. Yeah, that works. Oh, no, that one. Let's do that one. Cool. So Whitfield scored really well in the back line. Back to his best. Would have loved, obviously, a bigger score. Callahan definitely has taken a little bit of his what would be run-off half-back. Maybe a player we look to bring back in, but we'll see. Jordan Clark, 58, not great. Luke Ryan took a lot more of the kickouts as well, which is what's happened. But Clark just gets let behind. And this is something that we said on stream as well, just kind of owning the player. It makes it really tough because he'll have a good first quarter. He'll have potentially a good second quarter. Teams catch on. And because of just the type of player he is, a little bit of attention means that Freo just won't use him anymore, even off half back and things like that. So last few weeks, I think last week was a good week, but the weeks before that, he's crept into the hundreds, which is great. But it's always been a last quarter push, similar to a big Dane Zorko here. I advocated for people not to bring in Clark, and obviously you guys dodged the 58. So yeah, just something there. Zorko 95. Now my boy Zorko was on like 34 at halftime, so just junk time scores again. I think he'll do similar things against North Melbourne this week. Most likely actually quite higher. So if you don't own him, watch out. Kadeem Coleman is coming back soon, but I think they'll rush him through the VFL as much as they can. They can't afford him to do another ACL, another injury, whatnot. And Brisbane, as Fagan said, are just trolling. They're just doing very, very well at the moment. They don't usually lose games, so there's no rush. It's not like Kadeem Coleman plays for North or for Essendon or a bunch of other teams where, hey, the wins are on the line. Brisbane are doing very well. Riley Bice, 49. Yeah, his average at SCG is not as good as his average away from home. So hopefully he has a bounce back game. But the way that my trades are going this week, I may be cashing out some of the big 300K players and then looking to just coast along for the next little while. So yeah, Bice may be the one that goes next week, potentially to a Sinclair, or with the Sheasel here in the midfield, I can actually grab another 500K mid. We'll see how that works. Zach Reed, the Primo, 102. Very, very happy with that. Hopefully he can keep up with the level of scoring. A few people got rid of him recently, similar to an Ashcroft. It's a bit silly, but they did. Still has a lot of money to make. Nice to see Trainer bouncing back. Carroll, a little bit disappointing, and obviously Cornerstone not named. Now, we'll talk a little bit about dead rookies, but currently I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not great. It really sucks. It really sucks. So to the point where next week, if there's like 3 rookies that we must get, I might forego the upgrade and just say, cool, I'm going to ditch some of these guys because over the next, 5 weeks until round 13, or 4 weeks until round, heck, the season's almost done. 4 weeks until round 13, I need some money before the mid-season draft when, hey, if I can start offloading some of these players, get 200K-ish from a few of them, we're looking in a much better position to finish off the team. We ended up vice-captaining Brayshaw. Probably should have done Zach Merritt versus North Melbourne, but it is what it is. Would have dodged Max Gawn, which would have sucked. Brayshaw, 87. Yeah, Freo kind of got destroyed in that game. Nick Dacos got tagged for the 89. Zach Merritt was the start of the midfield, so 172, very happy. It's nice when you actually watch a game of North Melbourne and, unfortunately you end up cheering for the other player, but you don't feel so bad when Zach Merritt dominates and he's in your team. Harry Sheasel, 120. Looks like he's gone back to the halfback role. It works. We look more competitive. So I think it will stay. Jordan Dawson, 156. Very happy there. Chera needs to go at some point. I spoke yesterday on stream. If you guys don't, 7 o'clock on Mondays, just about how Chera's just coasting in my side. 150K hopefully gets me to a Bont or Butters with Chera. And at this point, that's all he is. So I just need him to not tank in cash like a few of these other guys have. Stay around this price. Cool. Round 13, offload you to a better player. Chris from Supercoach Insider has this week offloaded him to Zach Merritt / Butters. So yeah, it's kind of the same thinking as I am in, but our teams are a little bit different. Nice to have kept Ashcroft this week, 99, and then ended up fielding Lindsay over Hustwaite, which wasn't great. Obviously, Hustwaite last week played after Lindsay, so we took the 56. Cool, couldn't do much else. I believe West Coast had Cross as emergency, so could have played, and then Camporelli played earlier in the week. So what can you do? The conning in here in the ruck is someone to watch out for. Pitnet has had a few good games, and Carlton is in the pits a little bit. So potentially he comes back. We all know the average with Pitnet in the side and no Pitnet, but it might be better for DeConning. So we'll see what happens. Few people jumping off him, going to a Rowan Marshall, going to a Cherry for a little bit more in terms of value, or a price. I can see the appeal from it. I don't know if he's going to be top 3 or 4, and we really need that. Max Gawn, dominating. You guys see him over here every week. I think we've captained him 3 weeks in a row, and we've got an average of, what is Max Gawn's 3-round average? Will it show us here in Supercoach land? 163. So, yeah. Our captaincy average for 3 weeks in a row is now 163. It's bonkers. I'm running out of thumbnail pictures, guys. If you don't have Max Gorn, like last week was probably the last week to get him. This week is probably the last week to get him to, and he's got a 32 break even. Like he's on fire. He probably got 2 years left, 1 year left in Melbourne, but he's doing everything he can to try and get them over the line. And similar to a Cherry in a few of these other players, I think he definitely is in the mold of get the ball, rip it out of the middle, do a lot of things versus just the tap ruckman. And unfortunately, De Koning is a little bit of the tap ruckman, similar to a few other players. So we were going to go Connor Rosie and then have no money left in the bank. Instead of doing that, we went Petrarca at 485, I think he ended up being. Petrarca versus West Coast ended up being the play. Scored a 129, very happy. Forward line, basically almost done. Pal Pepper probably goes this week, but I think we're going to flex Ashcroft into the position, so it's not so bad there. Rankin, 138, very happy. I can't believe some people still don't own Rankin. He's been teetering at this 500k price for a very, very long time, and now has started to break out, which is what we want in Supercoach land, but it's been a bit of a miss that way. Smith, 111. Even he has been kind of around this price as well. Jack McRae, 160. Was like, yeah, why did I not vice captain Jack McRae? Oh, wait, because we ended up going Gorn. So it worked out. But McRae, one of those picks that, worked out for a lot of people. Caleb Daniel is an interesting one. Speaking to a few people at the moment, down game for him. Just didn't see a lot of the ball. Didn't really lose any of the kickouts, things like that. I think Sheasel took one. Comben took one, and then Daniel took the rest. So it's just a low-scoring game. A lot more goals than behinds, I think, as well, just from average. But Daniel, I've seen a few people considering putting him on the bench. Spoke with Supercoach God yesterday, basically said, hey, maybe look to have him on the bench. I can definitely fill this up with a Marek, with a Horn Francis, and then just have Daniel as the go-between between both lines, and you're very, very happy if that's the case. Pal Pepper, probably week to go for you, mate. It's been a great run. I think your break-even is very close to your average, and I don't really see you scoring more than a 79 this week versus Adelaide. It could happen. Could go 150 and reset the cash gen, but yeah, it opens up possibilities for me to get other players, and that's kind of what we're looking for. Kako, 60, so he's going to be the slow burn through. He's going to be an incredibly slow burn, but slowly going up in price, which is what we want. And then Patton obviously didn't play. And going back to dead rookies, like there's just way too many. There is way too many. And we need to get some of these guys off the bench, which may involve doing some dodgy stuff next week. Matt Flynn with the 53, biggest disappointment this week. Did play Max Gorn, but just didn't do what he was going to do around the ground. I think he was very, very lucky to get to a 53. Some junk time scores and whatnot in that fourth quarter basically boosted him up. But he was like on 40 points at halftime. And, someone like Joe ended up going Matt Flynn to Cherry this week and banked an 80K. So he ended up being my lowest score this week. And this is from a number one ruckman in a team. So when your number one ruckman is your lowest score this week, it's not fun. I believe he goes this week. Just something about his, let me see if I can pull it up. If we have a look at his season stats, his cash gen is kind of tanked now, which is not a good position to be in. So Nankervis gives away a lot of points against opposition. Well, sorry, Nankervis is one of the easiest matchups for opposition rucks. Gives away a few points, but I don't think he's going to dominate him as hard as he can. Let's pretend he goes an 80 versus Mac versus him. Roma, cool. Scores another 85. Cool. And I think BJ Williams may come back at some point too. And then probably a 78 against him. We're not losing that much money by actually trading out Matt Flynn. He's made us the 130K, so I believe Matt Flynn is on out, which is what we want. Prospective trades for you guys this week. There are a couple of rookies. If you don't have Hustwaite, he's a must-have. Super low break-even. He could jump 80K this week. If he had scores another 83. Like, I've missed out on Hewitt. I've missed out on a few guys. Hustwaite could be the man to kind of upgrade into a Lindsay and then end up getting a primo out of it, which is what we want. Get him in. Dunkley's definitely one. There is one who I'm looking at. Start to play the matchups a little bit more. It's something I've been talking about over the last few weeks as well. Who plays West Coast? Cool. This week's a little bit dodgy because it is West Coast versus Richmond, but you want to start playing the matchups for a lot of these type of players. Take advantage of the good teams versus the bad teams as much as you can. Hence, Max Gawn versus West Coast. Hence, Petrarca versus West Coast. This week, North is playing Brisbane. Time to start getting in a few of these Brisbane players. I don't think a tag's coming from North Melbourne, even though Phillips probably should have tagged Glocky Neal. Yes, we all know. But just kind of these are the things that once our teams start to get closer and closer together, these are the things that are going to really help in terms of that. What I'm considering for today, obviously we're going to play around with our teams, a few more live streams and whatnot, but what I have been considering is need Palpapa to go. He's made his money. We don't have enough money to really do anything. Cool. Let's make this work for you guys. Sorry, everybody. Cool. So Palpapa's gone. I believe Matt Flynn is probably up for grabs too. I wanted to wait a week on Bice. He was a keeper last week and then scored a 49. So maybe a little bit overreactionary, but the amount of money that I do have left in the bank means potentially I could end up trading out Bice next week, maybe to a Sinclair or somebody else or a Dunkley, depending on who's available in this midfield. So what I'm going to do is Ashcroft forward. There is one certain Mr. Erasmus who it's looking like he may play now that Hayden Young is injured. Unfortunately for Hayden Young, he is out for potentially the rest of the season. Nod comes back in a few weeks, but I think Erasmus may have the spot there, and Nod may force someone else out. Let me see if I can. Are there waffle numbers? Let me see if there are waffle numbers available. Hope everyone's Tuesday morning is going very well. So he's been doing okay in the waffle. It's not the last few weeks have been great. Round 5 obviously wasn't that great, but before that, cool, no worries. So I think he's the one that's in line to take the spot. Super low break even as well. What is he at the moment? Break even of -51. So should make us a bit of money, which is what we want. Desperate for the cash gen. I could go early on a Boxall, things like that, but I think I want to take the best 2 out of 3 next week. If Erasmus is not named, probably Boxall into the team, and then look to maybe offload a Connor Stone to a Joe Fonte and then a Patton out that week as well. Could end up being very, very good for us and maybe a cheeky shout. That way, 714K left in the bank left. I've got the flex spot. I was considering a Rowan Marshall or someone like this in the flex. It definitely does work out. There are quite a few options. I could even get a Bont or a Butters in, but I think that leaves me a little bit too vulnerable in terms of what I want to do for next week. I'm hoping these guys eventually have a dud game, which means I can get them in cheaper. But who I'm thinking of is Mr. 3-round average, Lockie Neal, 125. So basically, we've got Max Gawn, 3-round average of 163. It's bonkers. We need Cherry at some point, and then it's these two here, which we need to bring into our team. George Hewitt may come back into the team as well. Sorry, Hewitt may come into the team at some point too, but I'm trying to avoid. I think a few people are still going to get caught out by round 13 buys, round 12 buy. So I'm trying to avoid that a little bit as much as I can. This is what the team potentially is going to look like. Let me just see. So Hustwaite obviously comes on field for Erasmus. Max Gawn captain, because why not? Lockie Neal can be swapped out with any number of these players. You've got 130K in the bank, which plus Bice basically gets us to a few different players. And that might be the play for next week. Potentially, let's say, hey, Patton goes away. We do some swapping with Erasmus next week. We grab a Boxall, unlock 50K. Cool. I can now grab another 570, 550K-ish player across any line. So it works out quite well for us. Just a bit of a wait and see and finishing upgrades. I do have a few rookies left to go and then probably Adam Chera. So it is just about cash gen. If I can go one up, one down for the next few weeks, I think I'll be all right. So that is the plan. Let's see how we go. Team is coasting. Guys, how did you guys score this week? Let me know down in the comments. It has been a very interesting week. Feel the pain for the non-Max Gorn owners and definitely see where a few people are struggling. There are some content creators and whatnot that are doing very, very well as well. So congrats to you guys. And biggest thing I would take away from this week is just build the cash gen. You need to do it. You don't want to be that guy in the buy round that can't do much. Be like, oh, I've just got dead rookies. I can't do anything in that team. I've upgraded 1 or 2 players and then that's it for me. It's a real shit situation to be in. And at least for the first kind of 2 or 3 buy rounds, screw around 16 or 15. Like if you've got 3 trades to spend in round 15, come on, guys. But you want to be downgrading as many of these players as you can to the mid-season draftees and then upgrading to other players. And I think that's probably the best position to be in. Generate some money now, figure that out later. It's been a fun weekend. Members live stream today on Tuesday at 6 o'clock. If you guys haven't already, jump on the membership. It's a lot of fun. Community team is flying. My team is doing well. The community team will catch me in a couple of weeks. It has no dots that are not green on the bench, barring Harry Boyd. So it's a fun watch there. And with the drive home on Thursday at 5:30, guys. Have a great day. Have a great Tuesday. Don't worry too much. Build the cash gen. Because here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work. So you guys don't have to. Bye for now.